And we're breaking an exclusive intelligence report of the Indian Air Force has raised an alarm over the buildup of Chinese Air Force fighters in Tibet. The report says that the number of sorties flown by the Chinese Air Force is the highest for a calendar year till date. This is an alarming report that has been accessed by Times Now, and it talks about 800 sorties that have been flown in December 2014 alone. Times Now has accessed this intelligence report, which says that the number of sorties flown by the Chinese Air Force is the highest for a calendar year till date. And now, Chinese aggression has been a point of concern for Indian authorities. Remember, we are also talking about PLA troops once again intruding into Indian territory in East Ladakh. Coupled with that, we are now getting this report of by the Indian Air Force, in fact, which is raising alarm over the build-up of Chinese Air Force fighters in Tibet. Now, India clearly very concerned over this development. Let's go across to our National Affairs editor, Srinjoy Chaudhary, who's joining us live on this story. Srinjoy, clearly a report that is alarming as far as the Indian side is concerned.
Yes, it is a very alarming development, and the Air Force is very alarmed about it. The government is very alarmed about it. As you saw, the numbers are very, very clear. The first thing, of course, is that the number of sorties in Tibet of Chinese fighters is an exceptional number this year, and it's still, these figures are up to the 15th of November. And 1,299 is 58% more than any year in the past. That is the first thing. The Air Force is very worried because there are two things that can be assessed from this. The first, of course, is the fact that now the Chinese are in a position to have fighter aircraft flying in the winter months, which is a difficult feat because of snow on the ground and other logistical reasons. But the fact that the Chinese have been able to do it portends very, very badly for India. The second thing is, now the Chinese may be able to have permanent locations for fighter aircrafts in Tibet in the winter. That is the other thing that India is extremely concerned about, because now India will have to take special measures to keeping in mind the position of the Chinese fighters throughout the year in Tibet. That's the other point. Besides, of course, China has deployed a huge amount of SAM, that's surface-to-air missiles, in the area. But the fact that there are still 8 and 16 fighter aircraft in Tibet and another 16 in Hotan and Xinjiang is a major cause for worry for the Air Force. And that is what the Intel report, the Air Force intelligence report that came out this month, says extremely clearly. Over to you.
Srinjoy, now, of course, the concerns have been highlighted in this intelligence report, but the point now is, how does India counter these concerns? How does India move forward?
Yes, that is an issue that India is now worried about, because India sees two things happening. One, that these fighter planes will be in Tibet throughout the year, and that includes the winter months. That is a cause for worry, because in the past these fighters would go back. Now India will have to forward position their fighters in certain airfields close to these areas so that this can be countered. The other point, of course, is that India will have to ensure that its border deployments, its infrastructure, its logistics, all of which comes up to Chinese standards. Yesterday, we spoke with the Defence Minister of India, Mr. Manohar Parrikar, and this question was put to Mr. Parrikar. And Mr. Parrikar said that, well, don't worry so much about it. Give the Indian side 2 years, and then we will be up to scratch. We will have to see, of course, what happens at the end of 2 years. Over to you.